First past the post system, quite simple. Whoever gets more votes than anyone else wins in a constituency. That's it. That's how simple it is. AV means basically you've got to get 50% of the vote. If you don't achieve that on the first round of counting, then the next preference votes are counted again. So you put down more than one choice on your ballot paper.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. If the person who gets the most votes after they're all counted, the most number one votes, doesn't get more than half of the total votes, then you eliminate the person who came last and you share their votes out according to who they would like to have won if their first choice couldn't. It means that nobody gets elected unless a majority of people back them, and it means that no MP has a safe seat and no MP can ignore any vote. It's a hugely better system.
I'll be voting yes in the alternative voting referendum because unlike present, where you get one cross in the box for one candidate who may or may not have a chance of winning, you get to rank candidates in order of preference. And that's really important because in some parts of the country it's presented a simple choice between Labour and Tory, or Labour and Liberal Democrats, or a combination of parties which, you know, people may not necessarily want to choose. So if you support one of the smaller parties, or perhaps the party you want to support most hasn't got a chance of getting elected, then you'll be able to rank them in preference so your vote actually counts.
Well, I think people of all ages are disenfranchised, have their voices ignored under the current voting system. Why do I think that? Well, 2/3 of MPs have a job in Parliament making decisions about tuition fees and climate change and all sorts of things that affect our lives, even though most of us didn't vote for them. And unfortunately, the current voting system, first past the post, was designed for another age when lots of us voted for the two big parties. We don't do that anymore. We chop and change our preferences. Some of us have an affiliation with a political party, some of us don't. So I think our votes don't count very much, and that's why people can feel disillusioned.
The Conservative view is that we want people to vote no. A couple of simple reasons. One is because under AV, the person actually that's the third choice of people can end up coming through and stealing the election. But also our present system is very good at delivering accountability. So even at last year's election, when there wasn't a clear winner, when there were two parties having to come together to form a government, there was a very clear loser.
Of course, not everybody's going to have a third choice, fourth choice, fifth choice. So you have a situation where, you know, the winner could still just get 40%, like they do now, and yet by having the alternative vote, you would have confused voters completely as to whether or not they vote counted or not.
In AV, there are true wasted votes because your vote can be entirely removed from the count. We don't claim voting in an AV election is complicated, rather the way in which the votes are counted is confusing and can actually lead to people kind of voting for people they don't mean to. And not also understanding how they have helped their candidate get elected.